Justin Gatlin is the latest in a long line of sprint sensations to emerge from the USA.
Gatlin got a good start. Look at this man coming through now. Gatlin. What a fantastic performance from Gatlin. It's all about Gatlin.
Ultimate goal is to be one of the best sprinters in history.
And what a fantastic performance from Gatlin. And look at the time.
It's the American leading the Jamaican at the moment.
He knows he is the world champion.
Justin Gatlin is the world champion here in London.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back for another episode of Ready, Set, Go. We in the building. You know who my co-host is, the none other than the man with the beard, Rodney Green in the building, babe. What's up, man? What's good?
Yeah, what's up, everybody, man? We got a few announcements to make, man. We want to thank our whole community, man, for subscribing. We're at 10,000 subscribers now, man. Listen, I want to say everybody who I've met, you know, at these track meets, everybody, if you pulled up on Justin and you asked for a picture, you know, we appreciate you guys for subscribing. Everybody told me, once they asked me for a picture, my first thing be like, hey, you subscribe? And they'd be like, yeah, we subscribe. So I want to appreciate everybody that subscribed to our channel. We're here just trying to give you the backstories of track and field. We are the track ambassadors.
10K, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I'm really excited about that, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know we have, you know, like high ambitions and goals that we want to reach, but I think it's growing organically, man. I love it. I love the fact that we have 10,000 people who are really listening in and really giving their feedback, and we appreciate y'all. Go tell your friends, go tell your mama, go tell your daddy, go tell your schoolmates, go tell everybody to go ahead and listen in and subscribe, because we want to be able to give back to y'all.
Yeah, man. I want to thank everybody, you know, even though they subscribe, I want to thank everybody for commenting. Y'all, those comments, we actually read those. Also, we like when y'all like our little Instagram shorts. We love those. You know, when y'all post up under them, or the YouTube shorts, we love those too, man. So like, share those. Also, we also like when the athletes like them and share them on their page. Listen, we got to blow our sport up, but together we got to do it together. We want to grow our sport, make it bigger. So if we talk about you on our page, whether you liked it or not, share it. You know what I mean? Let's blow it up, man. And remember, these are only opinions, so don't take it personal.
Facts, man. So let's get into it. Before we even start, man, I have an announcement to make, man.
Oh, what is that, man? Let us know.
The beginning of July, I am dropping my book. The Ready, Set, Go, Grind to Glory.
Oh, man,
it is dropping at the beginning of July. So right after the Olympic trials, if you get a chance, everybody, go order your book. It'll be waiting for you. It's going to talk about my whole life, my career, everything, man, everything I've been through, all my ups and downs. And at the end of it, it's a memoir, right? But it's also at the end of each chapter, there is activations. So it's also like a self-help book for the athletes out there who are going through things and they feel alone and they're trying to figure out how to be able to operate. I have steps and procedures to help you and activities to help you get through certain hard times in your life. But it's just to even just strengthen, you know what I'm saying, your mental state as you go through your career. And it's also a part where my parents are giving their input on how to raise a champion. Because there's a lot of parents out there who are navigating through their life and they're saying, I have an athlete who's very talented and I don't know what to do with them. And my parents can give you those keys and those jewels to be able to how to raise a champion properly. So check it out. And at the end, it's a cool ass poem too. Written by Mua.
Listen, you got to tell us where we can pick it up though. What online sites? Is it in bookstores? You know, give us some specifics if you know.
Right now, I mean, definitely going to be on Amazon. I know that's going to be easiest for everybody.
All
so
right.
Amazon, and I'll give more information as the month goes on, and I'll start promoting it more. You know me, man. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that flashy kind of guy. But
I know.
But I'll make sure I put it out there so everyone can understand and where to find it at for sure.
All right. Listen, I want y'all to let us know in the comments. You know, we possibly might be at U.S. Olympic trials. Let us know if y'all want us out there for a live show, and we possibly could have a few books for a book signing. If y'all want us out there, let us know in the comments, man. We wanna see if the trip will be worth it for us to go out there to Oregon, to the U.S. trials and do a live show. So y'all let us know.
Or we might end up, we thinking about it, we might end up seeing y'all in Paris.
Choo choo,
So,
choo choo, choo choo, choo choo,
choo choo, choo choo, choo choo. Hey, just let us know. If y'all want to see us at the Olympic trials, or y'all want to see us at the Olympics itself in Paris, we are working on that right now, man. So we are here to help service y'all and give the word and be able to spread the word of these athletes who are working hard to make their dreams come true, man. So let's go right into it, man. What we got? What we doing, man?
First up on the docket, we got Oslo Diamond League, man. Our first with Oslo, man, we're going to start off with the men's 100, man. We have Simbine being, man, we got to call Simbine Mr. Consistency, because that young man is consistent as ever. He wants to be on the podium this time, and he's starting to make his case. I know with a lot of consistency, he'll have a big drop closer to his PB of 984. He puts away easily the Olympic champ and Oslo with 994. What did you think about that race?
You know, when you watch Simbine run, I mean, like you said, he's Mr. Consistent. So, and he's always sharp and prepared by December. I want the audience to understand that. Obviously, being from South Africa, their season it progresses a little earlier than our natural race seasons do. So he's the kind of athlete that's going to be ready, ready to go. And it's about, for him, maintaining that in shapeness or sharpness as we get into July, August, September. So that's his challenge. So if he's able to figure out how to be able to peak at the right time and fight off fatigue, I think now with a more mature Simbine, like, you've heard him speak, and there's a couple of quotes that you love, Rod, that he's already talked about, man. And I think if he is practicing what he is preaching, trust me, he's the kind of guy that's going to be standing on top of that podium real soon.
Yeah, 100%. I like his consistency. I think they already had their champs, so he's already qualified for the Olympics. He has some more time to go ahead and try to, like, dive into deeper training and to try to get better for the Olympics. So 994, 990 at Adidas. You know what I mean? He's definitely coming into better form. So I heard it was very cold in Oslo also. Like, it definitely wasn't the warmest. So to pull off a 994 like that, no telling on what he could have ran if it was a warmer climate.
Absolutely. What were your feelings about the rest of Oslo? Did you feel anything about the rest of the 100 meters,
man,
the field, or?
No, it was only Lamont Jacobs was in there. He doesn't look as sharp, you know what I mean? As the Olympic champion, he's had a few races. He's gotten defeated before Oslo by his training partner, De Grasse, running 10:10. And he doesn't look like the Olympic champion. So I'm a little bit concerned, but I mean, going up to the last Olympics, I remember him like running a bunch of like 9.9s, you know what I mean? And this just looks a little different. So for him, he has Europeans in a few weeks. So I definitely will gauge him after Europeans. We'll see what that looks like.
I think that when you talk about Lamont, you can't measure him against traditional Olympic champions. Why? Because he was birthed from a unique situation. You know, the 2021 Olympics had no one in the stands, no one in the stadiums, and he got the job done still, right? And a lot of people say, well, that was pretty easy because no one's there to give you pressure in the stands. And I kind of disagree, because sometimes athletes rise to the occasion when they have that energy out there, when they know that people are cheering for them or there's energy in the crowd, period. And he got it done with no one in this audience, no one in the stadium. When you look at an athlete like that, you can't judge them accordingly to past Olympic champions. I think for Lamont is stay under the radar, keep training hard, keep chipping away at those times, and strike when the iron's hot. because that's exactly how you became Olympic champion the first time. You struck when it was hot. You came away with the victory. No one saw it coming except for yourself. And if you want to get the job done again, don't recreate the wheel, bro. Just keep doing what you're doing. And when it's time, when that gun goes off, you run the best race of your life like you did before. And the job can be done again. So I'm not too stressed about him. I think that he just has to find his own rhythm and his own path instead of always thinking that I got to be the dominant racer or the dominant Olympic champion all the time. Let him do what he does.
Shoot, another person who had a commanding win was Polino, man. Polino of the Dominican Republic. She ran a commanding 400-meter time of 49:30. Like, it wasn't even close, bro. But my question is, I'd like to see my countrywoman, Shaunae Miller-Uibo. I don't know where she's at, but I can't wait for her to open up her 400. I'm definitely waiting, anxiously waiting. I think the Bahamas is waiting. But, to defend her championship, it's going to be hard to defend against Polino.
It would be very hard to defend against Polino. She is a very consistent runner. She is one of those kind of athletes that will give it her all every time she runs, right? And that's what you see when it comes to a relay, or when it comes to a one-off 400, or even when it comes to rounds at a championship. She really values the fact of sportsmanship and her craft. It's hard to beat an individual who runs like that and competes at that high level. When you talk about Shaunae has an air of greatness about her. The kind to where if she shows up at the line, she's ready to run, right? And when she came out to the World Relays, I think she did a great job on the relay. Keen eyes would say, she's almost there. She's almost there. But now it's been a couple of months. Let's see what she does when it's time for her to run up, when it's time for her to run and show up. So when she lines up, Rod, I think that she's going to be ready, bro. Like, Shaunae is Shaunae, bro. Like, Shaunae is like Cher. Yeah, you could say her last name, but we all know who Shaunae is, man. Shaunae is like Madonna. Like, she's going to live forever. Her workmanship, her craft, everything that she's built, like, she is the 400. So coming back after a baby and be able to get back out there and do her job, it's gonna take someone like her to get the job done, and I think she can do that.
100%. I think with her experience, Shaunae is not someone that actually needs races. With her experience, she can go out there and feel it out. But I'm just a Shaunae fan. I just can't wait to see her. That's just a fan of me, seeing the aquamarine black and gold out there. You know what I mean? I just can't wait to see her. Also, you know what I mean? She's already a historian. She's back-to-back. We've never had a gold medal back-to-back. If she pulls this off, she'll be triple gold. Like, this hasn't happened for our country ever. So she's already in our textbooks. She'll definitely be action time forever. So I'm rooting for Shaunae.
And let's say, I mean, she's had a lot of changes in her life in the last couple of years. Yes. She's a new mother, for one, right? She got married not too long ago, a couple of years back, right? She changed coaches. She moved back to the Bahamas, and her training is different. So she's gone through a lot of life changes. So with that being said, and we all know, even the audience, when you go through a lot of life changes, there's going to be situations where it's going to feel uncomfortable. You got to find that comfort. So I think that's why we're not seeing her out there running a lot of diamond leagues or races around the world, because she's still trying to find her groove. She's trying to find her flow, and she's going to strike when it's time to strike. So I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up to the Olympic trials and she's out there ready to run, and then she's going to dial it back a little bit, still get ready, still train, and then get ready for the Olympics.
Shoot, I agree with you definitely. And on the men's side, our boy who we already interviewed, man, Matthew Hudson-Smith. Did you see him run that world lead of 44:07?
I did, bro.
Boy, listen, he had me gassed up through the screen. He was like, "This is my year." Well, correction. He was like, "This is my fudging year." You know what I mean? I'm gonna edit myself a little bit. You know what I mean? But he was out there, man. I love the energy. I love how he went out there and made a statement. Man, it was a personal best, new European record, and a world lead, man. I am so happy, proud of Matthew Hudson-Smith, you know what I mean, going out there and doing what he just did.
You know, when we sat down with Matthew and he went through his whole life story, he basically said, look, guys, you know, I can do this. I'm a child prodigy at this. Like, the 400 chose me. I just have to get myself together and get right. If he's consistent on training, consistent on recovery, consistent on having that mindset to compete at a high level, Matthew's going to be very, very hard to beat. And at the end of the day, I'm not taking anything away from him. He said, this is his fucking moment, baby. So he's coming out there to get the job done, man. Real talk. I can't even water it down, man, because when you watch that race, it's like you saw a sleeping giant waking up, you know? And I want to see what he can do on a consistent level. So, Matt, if you watch it, man, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Next race coming up and the race after that, show us that you got a little dominance in that tank, bro.
Hey, listen, he got European champs coming up. And he was already, he broke his own record. So, you know,
yeah, you know you doing big things if you break your own record, dog. And you get excited too.
Yeah, and he's the European champion, so he's going back to defend his crown. You know what I mean? But listen, boy, if he not, he's serious about everything because you know he already called out Zarnell Hughes in that 300. Man, I don't know. Zarnell want that smoke, boy. This boy on fire. This boy.
I say go for it, Zarnell. I say go for it.
Boy,
Zarnell is a 19 low 80 sprinter. He has it. He has the capabilities of rocking and rolling. I say through a 250. Everybody else say a 300. Zarnell, negotiate, brother. Negotiate that 250.
Man, Matthew Hud said, man, that boy don't want no smoke. He said, call him Chimney, boy. He got all the smoke, boy. Call him Chimney, so he ready. For sure. But listen, I was happy for Matt, though. For sure. Moving on, man. Listen. Did you see? Boy, listen, the 400-meter men's hurdle is going to be on fire. Waholm opened up as fast as he ever did in the history of his event, but he took an L at home. And I know he didn't like that from Dos Santos. What do you thought about the race? And the world lead, 46.63. They took down Rai Benjamin's lead. So, you know, 46.63, Dos Santos has the world lead now, man. That boy on fire, man. I like his blonde hair, too. That boy out there looking cool as ever, man. He looking relaxed. I like his swag. Man, that boy doing it.
Yeah, the Santos swaggy, dog. If Santos, you listen, boy, we would love to get you on the show, man. Just chop it up with you, man. You come up like you are the character, bro. And a champion, but you definitely a character too. Watching the race, I feel like Dos Santos ran a very comfortable, controlled race. He didn't try to run to the front of the pack. He didn't try to race and run Waholm down anywhere throughout the race. He kept to his rhythm, and as the finish line got closer, he just stayed consistent with his rhythm. He made sure his hurdling was on point, and I think Waholm was not prepared to see Dos Santos at that last hurdle, which kind of shook Waholm just a little bit to where he clipped that last hurdle and he lost his momentum and he lost his balance, but then he tried to kind of dive for the line a little bit and he took an L. But here's my thing, though. He took an L at home. When you know the Viking is the kind of person that he's always going to evolve, especially after a loss. Losing at home it didn't taste good on his taste buds. Trust me. You watch him in that race, and after that race, he did not like that at all. If he was going to lose, let me lose anywhere else in the world, but not at home. So I think that even though Dos Santos showed that he has consistency, he showed that he has dominance in this season, man, I think Waholm will be ready the next couple of races. And this is a different kind of Waholm that we're going to be watching because taking that loss is going to elevate him, almost like a Noah Lyles. Traditionally, when you watch Noah lose, he always comes back and does something ridiculous, and he rises to the occasion. When he lost before, he came back the next year and broke the American record of running 19.3, right? So Waholm, I think, is cut from that same cloth. Having that loss is going to wake up a giant that I don't know if everyone's prepared for it just yet, but it's going to be exciting to watch for sure.
I don't think it's going to be as easy. You know what I mean? Waholm, you know what I mean? He had these dudes spooked, but they know he coming, man. It's easier being the hunter than being the hunted. So they hip to his game. When you watch the race, it looks like the Santos is like, as long as I keep him in striking distance, I feel like I'm strong enough to take him. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. He moved on, and even later, 2 days later, when he went to Stockholm, he ran again. He ran another 46. It was a little bit slower, but you know what I mean? But that other kid who was in fourth place, who was the fourth contender out of the big three, McMaster, is starting to form up too. He ran 48.0. So I wouldn't count him out yet also. So I think when we move into the Olympics, those top four guys, Rye Benjamin, King Ben, Waholm, the Viking, the Santos, and McMaster, but these guys are going to put on a showdown for the Olympics. So I hope everybody will stay tuned for that, man.
Man, look, I definitely want to see this showdown, man. This is highly anticipated. I love it. The fact that everyone has their own persona, their own nickname. This is what track and field is all about, man. It's about having individuals who can run comparably the same times. Any of them can go out and break the world record. And think about it. When Kevin Young was running, he broke the world record. It was 46.7, right? 46.7 and some change. And these guys are opening up at 46.6. And not taking nothing away, because at the end of the day, Kevin's record stood for decades, right? It was unbeatable. It was the unbreakable record. And now these guys are opening up faster than what his world record was, right? So it's a special moment for the 400-meter hurdles. And I think we should take the time to acknowledge that and to watch these Titans battle it out through the season and at the championship as well.
Yeah, very good. And our next race, man, I was shocked. Man. We have the women's 200. I wasn't shocked that Brittany Brown did what she did and ran 22.3. I was more so shocked at Sherika getting fifth place in Oslo. You know what I mean? She ran 22.9. You know what I mean? Kudos to Brittany Brown. Brittany Brown said, you know, her and her agent, they fought to try to get a better lane in Oslo. They didn't give it to her. So she went out there and she won, as she should. But winning against somebody whose personal best is 21.41 and somebody who's very consistent of running that half lap distance had to been a confidence booster for her, one. But two, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about Sherika, but I'm just saying, like, it's just weird seeing her get fifth place, like, just at this point in the year.
So, shouts out to Brittany Brown, first off, because she overcame an issue that we have in our sport that a lot of athletes complain about and never really voice their opinion, which is they feel like they should deserve a better lane, right? And she says, on a good day, I'm a 22.0 runner. Clearly, on an okay day, I'm a 22.3, and I still can be able to beat the field by running the field down. And that's what she did. So as impressive as her run was, I was just equally as impressed as her post-race interview, because she said, you thought I was only good enough for lane 8? I'm going to show you something different. Now, guess what? She ain't got to worry about lane 8 unless she wants lane 8 now. Guess she's going to get a premier lane, and she's going to go out there and run the way she wants to run. So hats off to Brittany. She handled business. Keep rolling. I talked to her on social media, and I said, you going out there and you complain. You saying, hey, I just want a little bit. Nah, girl, you ain't getting this sport to get a little bit. You came in the sport to get a lot of bit. So go out there and choose what you want. If it's a little bit, a lot of bit, but it's all on the table for you. And clearly from lane 8, it ain't a tall order for you. So go out there and handle that business for real, seriously. With Sherika, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm not sure who her coach is, but I definitely for Brittany. And I ain't no internet coach, I don't want nobody to hit me with that. I would definitely concentrate on the 2 for U.S. trials. I wouldn't try to double if I was her. Definitely, she looks a lot better in that 200. I would save her legs for just the 200. She has a very high chance of making that team in the 200. I'm not saying she can't do it in the 1, but I'm saying it looks so much more promising if she saved her legs for that 2. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you 100%. I think that she should focus on the 200. She just showed the world that she has the capabilities of dominating an international field by running a whole field down, right? So I think she should focus on making sure that 2, she can get back to that 22-0 on a good day. Let's see what you do 22-0 on a really good day, right? When it comes to Sherika, I'm not worried. I don't even know why you worry, Rod.
I'm not.
It's Sherika.
I just saying.
It's Sherika.
I'm just saying, I don't like 5th place. I don't know. Man, she ain't lost to 200 in like 2 years, bro. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? I have her on the same level or even maybe higher than Noah in the 200. You know what I mean? So it was just difficult to see that, I was like, what is wrong? But she says, she says nothing's wrong, but I know their Coach Frano, he does not taper them for the Diamond Leagues. The only times he says he tapers them for meets is Jamaican trials and Olympics or Worlds. So that's why I'm really not super worried.
She came out and she spoke post-interview about her race, and she said exactly what you said. She didn't feel comfortable not going out there and performing at elite level. She wasn't happy about getting 5th, but she said the golden words: I trust my coach and I trust the process. I trust my coach and I trust the process. A lot of athletes don't see that through. A coach will say, hey, you might take an L here or there, but when it counts, the win we're looking for, the W that we truly want, is the one that's going to put a gold medal around your neck. It's going to put you on top of that podium and possibly get you a world record in the process. So by her having that discipline and even to be able to speak about it, speaks volumes. I think that she's going to have a great season still going forward. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't she just run and then she just win?
Yeah,
she just ran another race.
She ran
won.
22,
she won
in Stockholm, 22.6.
There you go. So we making gains there. We making gains. So go ahead and wipe the sweat from your brow, Rod. She coming back. She dropping her times. And when it's time for her to get ready for the Olympic trials, she gonna be on it. And she's the next one to pass the torch on to, right? When it comes to Jamaican sprinting dominance. You have someone, Shelly Ann's last year, probably most likely Elaine's last Olympics. So Sherika's next up to the plate. And she's already done amazing things. So I think listening to her counterparts when it comes to Shelly Ann, which is one of her good friends, and possibly Elaine as well, they're gonna speak that life into her. They're gonna know like it's a pride thing. And this is Jamaica. Jamaica has a lot of pride in their athletes, and they run with a lot of pride. So they're not gonna let her falter. They're not gonna be like, well, girl, I got it done. You ain't get it done. So that's just on you. They're gonna be like, nah, you gotta get this done, girl. Like you the next up. Look, what you gonna do? So let Sherika be, and she gonna show up when it's time to show up. That's just my opinion.
Hey, that is a good take from Justin Gatlin. Next up, man, we got the Edwin Moses Classic at Morehouse, HBCU. The first, I think, they're going to correct me in the comments, I think this is the first professional track and field meet that was at an HBCU, which is amazing. I'd like to see more. You know what I mean? Because look at us, man. It's us doing a lot of great things. So I'd like to thank Edwin Moses and his team for putting on this track meet out there. He had a lot of the track stars. He had one of my favorite stars out there, man, Gail Devers. Listen, when I meet Gail gonna know how much I love her because everybody gonna be like, boy, he said your name on that show so much. That boy love you.
And here's the crazy thing. You love Gail and Gail loves Shelly Ann and you love Shelly Ann too. They all your...
they listen. And when they see me, I hope they be like, you're the guy that loves me.
I'm gonna make this happen for you. Mark my words. From friend to friend, I'm gonna make sure you meet both of them. And Hong is going to record this moment. And we're not gonna tell you, bro. You gonna come around the corner, you gonna be like,
No. I ain't gonna be fan that. I'm gonna look cool. You know, I can't look fan that. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, man, how y'all doing? You know what I mean? It's good, it's nice.
But on the inside. Hey, do. Hey.
Yeah, listen, Gail's amazing because before we get into the ATL meet, ATL Track League meet, Gail's amazing because we've not have another female like Gail or even tried to step to that challenge of trying to dominate in the sprint and dominating the hurdles. A lot of coaches or a lot of female hurdlers may be fearful that they may get hurt in 100, but they probably won't. Man, I think there's one person who I know. I won't say her name because they don't like when I say their names. They already told me this. But I know one person who would be a perfect person to try it. And they say they'll try it maybe in a year or so. But this person is very dominant at the hurdles.
Don't say their name, but say a name or a word that rhymes with their name.
No, definitely not, because then she's going to get mad. She's going to be like, I told you not to say my name.
No, you ain't say the name. You said the rhyming name, dog.
Nah, I'm going to respect this girl. You know what I mean? I'm going to respect her. You know what I mean? But she said, since you said that, and you said you watched me in this and whatever and that, I think I could do it now that you told me that. You know what I mean? She said, I think I could do it. And I said, man, I know you can do it. And she's like, man, we'll see. Let me focus on this Olympics, and then we'll see after that.
They could do 100 or they could do a 200.
They could do they could do a 200. They already done it.
But they could do 100?
Basically, let me say this. They already ran faster than Brittany Brown this weekend. And they run hurdles.
Oh.
So I can say that.
Okay.
But they said, I'll think about it. She said, I got to get my start together. Now I think about it. I think since you said that, I think I could do it.
All right. Cool. So hopefully one day you'll be able to reveal who this person is.
Yes, we had one person who was close and, she had flashes in the sport, but she disappeared fairly quickly, and Jenny Powell. You know what I mean?
Jenny, yeah. Jenny won NCAAs in the 100 and in the 100-meter hurdles.
I think so. Yeah, she's ran 10 before, and she's ran 12.4 in the hurdles. So she's ran 10 seconds and 12.4, which is amazing. So this is amazing.
It is.
So she was the closest who actually tried it, but never really honed in on really doing it. You know what I mean?
Man, that is a tall order. And I'm gonna say that because
boy, you need to coin that. You need to coin that word. Tall order. That word, dog.
Tall order. Next time you see me have a shirt on that says tall order. But why I say that is because when Gail was running, she was running times that was comparable to the field, right? The field were running the same times that she was running when it comes to the 100 and it comes to the 100 hurdles. Now you're gonna have to have a female who can run 10.8, 10.7s, possibly faster if you're going to look for someone who's going to be able to even do what Gail did, which is she was able to go into 100 meters and win 100 meters against formidable opponents and go jump into the hurdles and win against formidable opponents. Yeah, and in this day and age, you got female hurdlers in the short hurdles who are running 12.2s, and then you got female sprinters in the 100 meters who are running 10.6. So It's going to take a bionic woman or a female that we have yet to discover who could be able to do that. But I would love to see that, bro. That is an amazing feat to happen for sure. An amazing feat.
Yeah, I definitely want to just give Gail her flowers. You know what I mean? And some of these hurdlers need to understand, like, if Gail probably just dialed in, her and Bobby Kersey just dialed in to just hurdles, who knows? She might have been 12-2 back then, but, they were bouncing back and forth. Bobby had to work, Coach Kersey had to work in between those hurdles and that 100. You know what I mean? And if anybody know Coach Kersey, man, let him know. We'd love him on the show. I'd love to pick his brain. You know what I mean? He used to talk to Brooks Johnson. They used to have conversations all the time. And I'd be sitting on the side of Brooks trying to listen in, trying to air hustle. But they would be talking about track and field, and I would be trying to learn so much, man. It was amazing.
This boy Bobby's so cool, man. If he come on the show, I already know how he gonna sit. He gonna sit on the show. Thank you for having me. He gonna have his legs crossed like a little pimp. He gonna have them track pants on with the white tube socks showing, with the OG Nike sneakers on. He gonna have that New York Yankee hat on. He's just gonna talk, and he gonna speak the truth. He gonna speak the truth, bro. Like, he just came out earlier about how he would love to see more races in America and how it would be able to benefit a lot of American athletes, but athletes from around the world, right? Because me and you both know that it took a lot for us to get on a plane, travel 7+ hours to a whole nother country, get acclimated time zone wise, eat food that's foreign to us, and then go out and compete at a high level. And then fans and spectators wondering why we never lived up to the hype that we had when we ran in America.
Hey, I'm glad you said that. And that's why we need more people like us who tell parents about that, because, for the young bulls like Christian Miller, young bulls like the young man from Bullets, what's his name? I'm bad with names, boy.
Oh, Quincy.
That type of change is going to be different for them, because they're young stars who travel and compete within the American circuit. When they have to travel overseas, the food's not the same. The travel's not the same. If they get delayed or denied a flight and they arrive late, you know what I mean? The hotels are different. How they rest, time zones. If they're not in a system or somebody or with a coach that understands that can be very trying to those young athletes. And we have to make sure, if their coaches are listening, you know what I mean? Definitely talk to somebody like who've been in the field or who've been a pro for a while, so they could coach them on that part of the game. Because they think it's just running fast, but it's just running fast in their comfort zone within the continental United States. But when you have to go to Europe, Africa, possibly Australia, Japan, and you have to go over all these time zones, how will these young men or young ladies who's turning pro early handle that? You know what I mean? That's going to be very hard for them.
It is. And I would say, and my tip to them is, if you have the opportunity to take a vacation abroad, take it. Go. Don't just think about vacation and sightseeing and tourists, but when you get overseas, see what it feels like to be jet lagged. See what it feels like to eat foreign foods, because this is what you're about to be doing for a very long time in your career. So try to get acclimated when the pressure's not on you. Try to get acclimated when you're not in a professional realm and you got to get the job done in 2 days or less. Go over there and enjoy yourself, sightsee a little bit, get it all out your system. Because when it's time for you to compete, it's time for you to dial in and learn the tricks of the trade, man. Ask the older vets, ask the people who've already been out the sport and say, hey, man, how did you cope with that travel? How did you cope with eating? Because if you learn quicker, that's less mistakes you have to make, and that's more wins that could be put under your belt.
100%. Or you could just call Gatlin Consultants. You know what I mean? They consult with young athletes, you know what I mean, on this type of thing. So if you make that call, there is a fee. Make that call to Gatlin Consultants. You will speak to somebody like Justin or Justin himself about consulting you on how to compete at the next level.
Sign up now and you get a free international adapter, wall adapter to your for your first signing. It is essential that you need it.
Or you can end up with an effed up haircut.
For sure, bro.
Oh,
for sure.
man. Oh,
hey,
man.
back to this track league, man. I love what Edwin Moses, shouts out to Edwin Moses, an OG in our sport, a legend who has paved the way for so many athletes, even outside the 400 hurdles, to come back into our sport. And I actually talked to him at a Formula One, Miami, when their inaugural first race they had. I saw him at an event there and we talked and he said, this is what I'm coming out with. I'm coming out with the Edwin Moses Classic and it's going to house some of the best athletes, but we're also going to bring in some of those legends that have paved the way in our sport. I'm glad that he has started the idea and has come to fruition. And then now he's making it happen because this is something that I would love to see next year, bro. I would love for us to go and just mingle with the likes of Gwen Torrance, Angelo Taylor's. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
that means
he just didn't have American stars out there. He had Veronica Campbell-Brown.
Campbell-Brown.
Yeah, he had international people out there, man. You know what I mean?
Dwight Phillips, OG in the game.
Yeah, OG.
Like,
and he's coaching.
OG.
He's coaching.
Dwight doing everything, bro. First of all, Dwight is coaching. Dwight has his own with Winner Circle. Shout out to Winner Circle. He got his own gear, his own apparel that he just came out with as well. This man's doing it all. And on top of that, he has one of the fastest kids in the United States. His son has been tearing up the track and tearing up the football field. So shouts out to him, man. He's juggling a lot and he's being successful at the same time, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
He's a photographer, man. You don't even know that he takes photos, bro. He takes photos at track meets. Man, what can you not do, bro?
No, but that boy was a beast in the jumps, and his behind ran 10-0 in the 100. Boy, that boy wasn't
no, bro. He ran 999. He ran sub 10.
He did. I don't know if he did. I thought he ran 10-0, but yeah, I might be wrong. Hey, look, I don't want to take nothing from you. You ran 999. I already knew you was a dog, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
I trained with him when I lived in Atlanta, dog. That was him and Angelo Taylor. They had me scratching my head a little bit, dog. I had to question if I had speed or not.
Shoot, Angelo said he was going to do the show.
He going to do the show?
Yeah, you
Bring
already
on
told
Angelo,
me.
bro.
You
Listen,
told
bro. I had to scratch my head. And I had to kind of reset my confidence because I was like, wait a minute, dog. I am doing starting blocks with a long jumper and a 400-meter hurdler, and I'm getting my doors blown off. Like, I didn't understand what's going on here. They are very quick out the blocks, man. Let's get Angelo on the show for sure, man. He has a lot of stories, and his Olympic stories are amazing too.
It definitely are. That's why I want him on the show. You know what I mean? But getting back to this ATL track meet, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone had opened up her 400-meter hurdles, and she did not disappoint, bro. she did not. You know, she was trying out her new wheels with her faster legs. You know what I mean? And her opening, she ran the world lead of 52.70. What'd you think about her race?
Man, first of all, I'm still trying to pick up my chin from the ground from when she ran that 22.0 in the 200. So I was not shocked that she was going to come out and drop a hot time in the 400 hurdles. This is her home, bro. Like, this is where she dwells. This is where her throne is. Her throne is in the 400-meter hurdles. I don't expect anything less. Anytime she steps on the track, it's going to be a world lead or a world record, or she's going to win a championship because that's what she does. It's going to be very hard to beat her at what she does very well. For her to jump in with a 52.70 just out the box, like it sends shivers down my spine. And I don't even run the 400 hurdles, and I don't even identify as a woman. And I'm scared.
Listen, I think, you know, she wanted to put on a good show because, one, who the track meet was named after, the most winningest 400-meter hurdle of all time, Edwin Moses. And two, you know, if it's his meet, she like, I'm going to show out in your event and close this event with a good world-leading showing for you and this meet. You know, and shouts out to her because she could have chose to open up a 400-meter hurdles anywhere in the world, but she chose to do it there at his meet. And that's very noble of her, you know what I mean? Because she could have went anywhere else, but she chose to open it at home in front of a crowd of Americans in the front of Edwin Moses, which is very, 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 very good for her.
At Morehouse, at a HBCU. Let's get more HBCU track into the dialogue, into talks, man. Especially housing meets like that. Let's keep that going, man. I mean, there's a lot of history in American track and field with HBCUs running amazing times, and not just HBCU. Let's just say like the Tiger Bells, man. The Tiger Bells, like they did an amazing job in their era, and they paved the way for a lot of female sprinters to come along and do their thing. So I like to see that kind of dusted off and us go back into our roots and bring those athletes who are still around back to the forefront, because if we want to resurrect track and field in America, we need to start from the source, which is the people who already done it and did amazing things in America on tracks in America.
Shoot, I'm gonna put some pressure on our homeboy, man. When he hear it, man, he could be next. You know what I mean? Pressure? Yeah, man.
We putting that pressure on.
To have the next HBCU meet, man. He a Bison. He came from the Bisons. He's back at the Bisons doing amazing things. If you don't know who the Bisons is, they say they're the real HU at Howard University. Our friend of both of us, David Oliver.
Dio, boy. Hey, Dio crazy, boy. The Dio wild, boy. Dio, host a meet, dog. We definitely would love to come and be able to partake in a meet like that.
Yeah, man. You could be next, man. The next David Oliver Classic, man. At your alma mater, in which that's where you came from, and that's where you're at. You know what I mean? It just makes sense.
I'm saying this over and over again, I train with David too. So I feel like I train with everybody. I train with David too. And I remember asking David one day at practice, I was like, hey, David, what motivates you? And you know how David talk. Hey, man, I'm just letting you know, when I open up that bank account and I see them commas, dog, that's what motivates me, dog. Like, David's about getting that money, man. Shout out to David, dog.
You're in line. I remember David pulled up on me on Florida Relays. And this is I think he just won Worlds or something like that. And he pulled up like the next year, and he had this plum Jag. It was plum. I
remember the plum Jag.
XJ. And he was like, hey, yo, you like this? Yeah, man, just got this, you know. Had to dust it off, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, you gonna stun on me like that? Hey, it's all good, big dog. Yeah, but Dio, man, you could be next, man. Dio's doing great things out there at Howard. He definitely has grown that program. You know what I mean? Man, he went back and started coaching there. So shout out to Dio. Dio is definitely out there recruiting. HU is a great university, but shout out to all our HBCUs, man. We've had a lot of great athletes come from HBCUs. Some that I know. I don't know them all, but I can only talk about the some that I know. I know Francina McCoy, Kelly Wells came from HU, the Hampton University, which is another HBCU. You know what I mean? And I think they're in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So shout out to them. I think LaVon went to HU too. I'm not sure.
Is she?
I'm not sure. But I know of them too, though. Francina McCory and Kelly Wells, they went to Hampton University. So shout out to them.
She did. She went to FAM Law School. She did. So shout out to them, man. You know what I mean? You can still be one of them that come through those HBCUs. David was one, and you find a good coach, and you can grind your way all the way up to the top. So shout out to them. Absolutely, man. So let's go ahead and jump on this flight back over to. Oh, we're going to Stockholm first? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Stockholm. Let me tell you why we're gonna go to Stockholm. Because Femke Bol opened up our 400 meter hurdles right behind Sydney McLaughlin.
Oh yeah, we in Stockholm, y'all. We in Stockholm.
And she did not disappoint. She ran 53:03. You know what I mean?
Heat is on.
Which is
you
only
that song?
Yes,
You're
I
too
do.
young for that
I do.
song.
I know. I'm just old enough. Look at the beard. But but she ran 53:03, which is a solid opener for her also. She's letting Sydney know, like, hey, look, yeah, you did 52.7, but I'm right there at 53.0. So, she made her move over the 10th hurdle. She was pretty much with the pack and made her move over the 10th hurdle to separate herself into 53.0. But she's letting her know, like, you're back. And she said in the interview, I'm happy that Sydney's back, but I don't think that she's going to just let Sydney run away with this gold medal. She's prepared to go the distance.
So what do you do as an athlete or a coach, right? In a situation like this where your toughest competitor has dropped a world lead of 52.70, and then you open up with an impressive 53. What do you do in the meantime to prepare yourself to be able to compete against that? Because now it's like, at one point in time, Femke Bol was chipping away, right? Chipping away at getting closer and closer to Sydney. Each championship, each race, she was closing in on her. I think this is a year where Femke Bol has the opportunity. She's matured. She's gotten older, meaning like in the sport. So she knows what it takes to go out there and win. She understands what it means to be dominant. She's a name in the sport now, right? She's not just a silver medalist who got it. Congratulations. Now she is a truly, truly formidable opponent who, if you lacking, she's going to come up and grab it from you. And even if you're ready, she might be one of them athletes that's prepared to go stride for stride with you. What do you do as a coach or an athlete to prepare yourself for that?
Boy, you better tell Femke she got to be willing to die. If she going to be Sydney, she got to be like, I'm either die or lose. That's going to have to be what she's going to have to do, because the coaching pairing between Bobby Kersey and the athleticism of Sydney McLaughlin, that's a hard feat to beat. You know what I mean? She's 52.70, and she's been a year away from the doggone hurdles, bro. She's ran 22.0, so she definitely has the leg speed. Femke Bol doesn't have the same leg speed. She ran a 200, and it definitely wasn't 22.0. You know what I mean? So her coach is going to tell her in the next few training sessions, she has to be willing to die and not physically die, everybody. I don't want her to die. But I'm saying, like, train that hard to try to beat Sydney. And she has European champs to give her another measure of where she can be. But I guarantee the next time we see Sydney at the U.S. Olympic trials, she's going to drop another dime. So
you think that Femke Bol needs to take a page and rip that page out of Wade Van Niekerk's book and die for it? Because that's what he did in the 400. He died for it.
Every time Wade goes out there, before his injury to his knee, it looked like he was willing to die than to lose. You know what I mean? And anybody who's willing to die for something and somebody who's not willing to die, that person will beat you every time. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely saying that. Femke is going to have to possibly change her race pattern, because she's going to have to go out with Sydney. She's not running that down. If Sydney is leading to 300, she's lost. If she's leading to 350, she's lost. She's not running her down.
Yeah. Man, I can't even fathom. I could see on the day of the race, you'd be like, I'm willing to die for this shit, right? You know what I mean? Because you gotta talk yourself up. You know what I mean? You gotta get out there and be like, I'm willing to die for it. But to train at that level and to elevate yourself to a level to where now that is your motto, right? To where, how do you even train with that motto? Like, I'm willing to die for it. Your practices have to be hellified, dog.
But
Your
Justin,
practices have to be damn near suicidal.
Justin, you've already been there. You've done it. You've said yourself, I remember in 2011 fall, you told me everybody laying down for this man Bolt, and I'm going to try to beat him, bro. I don't care what I got to do. And then you said in the fall of 2014 that, hey, if Dennis asks you to do sleds with 1 plate, you're doing it with 2 plates. If Dennis said the pace was 11 seconds, you were doing 10 seconds. That's the mindset that she has to be in. She has to be, what the coach calls this, she has to be willing to go above and beyond because she knows she has to first equal her opponent, then beat them. She's not even equal. That's 50.68 you're looking at. She's never even been there. So in her head, she has to be willing to go above and beyond every time if she wants to beat Sydney.
You're right. That's exactly what she had to do. Thank you for reminding me that. I appreciate that for sure.
It's funny, I had to remind you a lot during your career of who you were or who you are.
But you know why? Because you're talking to Justin now.
It's true.
But you were training with Jay Gat.
Yes.
Jay Gat just tapped me on the shoulder. I'm like, oh, you forgot that shit?
Yeah. Yeah, facts. Now we can take our trip. Take us on to where we going.
We going down to where a lot of people in the world already knew that we've been. We're going back to Jamaica.
I'm
drinking rum and Red Bull.
Shout outs to Beanie Man. Shout
outs to Beanie, dog. I've been saying that shit for about good 3 weeks, bro. Nonstop.
Listen, I want to let everybody know I like going down to Jamaica, but I didn't like going down and having dinner with Justin and Asafa because that was 2 guys who beat up on me during my career. But I can tell you this, for them to not having a relationship in 20 years, they definitely acted like kindred spirits the first night at dinner. Tell us about it.
Let's lead up to it. The fact is, it took us about maybe almost 2 months to even 2.5 months to even get this whole meeting set up, right? This whole interview set up.
It did.
And both sides felt the same way. Asafa was like, what I got to talk to Justin about? And I was like, what I got to talk to Asafa about? And then I realized I've never had a full conversation with this man in the 20 years of us both competing. And we sat down at dinner and we had an amazing time, bro. Like, we had so many things in common, for one. And the fact is, we both went through the different stages of life at the same time, even now as fathers, and just finding our next step in our retirement and just finding joy and happiness, you know? And being there, like you said, it felt like kindred spirit. It felt like it was a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was able to talk and sit down and have drinks with someone who I competed against at a high level for 20 years. But now I can say that I can be a brother to him for life, man, because it was special.
Definitely crazy, man. It was a privilege to be a part of that. I told both of them that I didn't even need to be there for that conversation, but both of them agreed that I was a great mediator. But I think this is what our track culture needs, man. Like, you know, seeing that, and the episode will drop with Justin and Asafa soon to come. But I think it was definitely for our track culture needed to see. They 2 of the top 5 dead or alive, man. We talked to the 4th and 5th fastest man alive out of 7.7 or maybe 8 billion people in the history of life. Not the history of track and field, history of life. And they're alive and well, and we could have conversations with them. So I think it was great for the sport of track and field. When you guys watch the episode drop, I think everybody will definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Y'all stay tuned for that episode and many more to come too, for sure. So back to Jamaica, man. The Racers. The Racers Grand Prix.
Racers Grand Prix.
Hosted by Usain Bolt himself.
And Glenn Mills. Shout out to Glenn Mills, another genius coach.
Shout out to Glenn Mills, man. It was I must say that the Racers meet did not what's the word I'm looking for? It did not. It
Disappoint.
did not disappoint. I'm lost for words here. It did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint. Oh, hold on. Right before we get into that, shout out to the Minister of Sports and Culture who invited us in our office, showed us an amazing time. We want to definitely shout her out, man. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It was definitely.
And she's convincing me that my lineage is from Jamaica. So
she has.
So Ancestry.com, if you listen in, I need to go ahead and get me a box, send it over to me. Let me go ahead and do this test and figure it out, because she's definitely convinced that I am of Jamaican ancestry. So she says, you're fast. So there's only one reason why you're fast. You're Jamaican.
That's true. That's what she said. Well, yeah, but now we can get into, man, our racist invite. Listen, like I've been telling you, man, Women's 100, Julien mean business, bro. She's not going to miss this podium. She missed the podium last year. She not going to miss this podium, boy. Julien Alfred, you don't know me, but I know you don't want to miss this podium. Shout out to our Coach Flo, too. I know you guys don't want to miss this podium. She went out there, man, and dominated the race. Literally dominated the race. She controlled it from start to finish in 10.78.
Wow.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I know Julien, so I could, you know what I'm saying? I could brag a little bit. But wow, man. I love to see athletes find themselves, and she was dominant in college. And then sometimes you find athletes who do a great job in college, they kind of tend to fall off in the professional realm, right? Because there's so much that comes to the professional realm when it comes to leaving college. You got to find your own therapist. You got to find, your own meals. You got to pay for your own apartment. It's all the things. You're adulting. You're adulting now. But watching Julien segue from college to pros, and she's still consistent with her dominance and running fast times. So amazing to watch her run. And she's so strong, bro. So fast. I just love watching her run, bro. Like, it's just amazing to watch her run. So I hope that she keeps that poise and she stays patient. And, she's coming from a situation where she doesn't have a lot of pressure on her, I feel, when it comes to, she doesn't have the traditional Jamaica trials or USA trials where it's like, now you're gunslinging out there. Now you got to peak twice. She could be comfortable. She's ran 10-7. She did it dominant in this race. Now she can go back to training. You know what I'm saying? Get ready for any other races she wants to, or just get ready for the Olympics itself and go out there, and she has her eye on that podium. Man, she has a moment to where she can capture the moment.
She is.
It's going to be special to watch her, see her run.
Yeah, man. I definitely don't want people to forget her pedigree. If her times were not win dated when she were in college, we would be talking about her like she was the collegiate record holder, man. Because since Sha'Carri, she is her. She won the 100, but she did something that Sha'Carri didn't do. She won the 200 and closed it out with the 4x1. You know what I mean? So she's definitely poised to be, if not now, but soon to come, next world or possibly a next Olympic champion. I'm not ruling her out, bro. She gonna get one of those medals. I don't know which color, but she is coming.
Definitely, 100%. So if you haven't seen her run since college, I guarantee you, go watch this race and the next ones to come. She's gonna put on a great show for you.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about something that we usually don't talk about on Ready, Set, Go.
What's that?
Let's talk about the triple jump.
Oh boy!
Since we in Jamaica, there's a young phenom out of Jamaica, Jaden Herbert, who has been amazing. Not only now, but he's been amazing through college. And
what you said his name was? Because I heard Air Jamaica. I don't know. What's his name?
Air Jamaica.
Air Jamaica. That boy named Air Jamaica. Listen, if he coined that name, remember, you got that name from Ready, Set, Go. That boy name is Jaden Air Jamaica, hit it.
17.76, man. That's what he's out there. He's put marks down that we haven't seen in a while, man. He's definitely amongst the greats. And especially when it comes to his event. Like, and he does it so effortlessly, man. You know, when you're born to do something, he's born to do this, bro. I'm glad he found what his calling was, because he is amazing to watch, especially when he's running down that runway. I feel like the whole stadium stopped and watching him, and he's put on an amazing show. An amazing show. What you think?
Listen, I don't know what people understand, because I know in America they don't usually use the metric system, but 17.76 meters is something like 58 feet and change, right? This boy first phase had to have been like 20 feet. When you go back and watch it, bro, his first phase was long as ever. His second phase, he almost makes the pit. You know what I mean? So, you know how they have the little cardboard box that be like on the side you can see how far they jump? It was like 14, 15, 16. He jumped outside of the cardboard box on the other side of 17. So he already knew. He passed the cardboard box. You know, he had the umpires whispering to each other, like, dude, I don't know. Everybody else out there was jumping like 16. But listen, they was like, I don't know. Do we mark it? I don't know if we should mark it. I don't know. But clearly it was a clean jump, but it was an amazing feat. He did it. And at a home crowd, he broke the meet record. Definitely a world lead. I think the world record is something like 18.2, which is 59 feet and change. So he has a little bit more training to do, but you know, he's going to bask in this win right here, because it's nothing like getting your meet record at home in the front of your home crowd, especially that Jamaican crowd with all them horns. Boy, he definitely was up there.
Air Jamaica, boy.
Air Jamaica.
Air Jamaica.
Yeah,
what we got going next, man? We got Trey Cunningham, man. Trey Cunningham dropping 13-12 in the men's 110 hurdles. What was your thoughts on that?
Man, I think he's starting to round out. I think he's just now starting to get it together, get his bearings together. I think the world lead is 13:07. Trey is starting to really round out to try to be one of the better hurdlers in the world, not America, the world. And he put away a really solid field of good hurdlers who've ran 12.9 before. So I think this was a good race for Trey, good confidence booster of him going back to U.S. Olympic trials.
I can't wait to see what he does. I mean, he's a young, talented hurdler. He's put up some great times in the past. He's actually got himself on some teams. So I love watching the maturity of these young athletes, especially in the hurdles, man. Watching them get it and then finding that rhythm. You know, it's a telltale, especially in the men's hurdles. Once you find that rhythm, it's hard to shut that rhythm off. And you just kind of just keep going with it. You watch Grant do it all the time. You know, he's found that rhythm. He's found lightning in a bottle. He's able to just keep turning out those times. To watch, you know, someone like Trey kind of rise to that occasion, it's going to be great to see what he's going to do at the Olympic trials. You already know. It's going to be a grab bag. You know, first, second, third, it's almost like a coin toss in a way now. You know, you can't define who's going to get second place, third place, hell, sometimes even first place in a situation like this. That's what I love about the hurdles. The hurdles, you're competing against yourself. You're competing against 10 barriers. You're competing against time. And you're competing against 8 to 7 other competitors. That is an amazing event to watch. That's why it's one of my favorite events. Definitely. Moving on to this 200.
Remy Rich.
Remy looks smooth, boy.
Hey, listen, that last 50 meters, that boy closed so strong, bro. I didn't think he was going to win, but that last 50 meters, boy, he moved like how you talked about Bolton Blake with the whoop, whoop.
The whoop,
whoop, whoop. Yeah, man. Shout out to Jereen Richards, man, from Trinidad. You know, 20.13. He actually won the meet, you know what I mean? His last 50 meters looking really strong, really confident. You know, he looked like he's winding down. You know, he goes down to Trinidad trials. He probably will try to drop down into the 19-second realm. You know what I mean? And he said, like he said on our part, their track is the real distance. It's not short because everybody has their questions about Trinidad's track.
Yeah, y'all leave Trinidad's track alone, man.
Yeah. So, Kareem, shout out, man. Kareem, man, Usain Bolt, man. Kareem wanted to meet you after the race. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you're in Paris, man. You know, I know he probably didn't get to meet you, but I know that was one of his requests. He was like, man, anybody who knows Usain Bolt, tell him I would like to meet him. He said, I glimpsed him once in 2017, but I would love to meet Usain Bolt. So Usain Bolt, make yourself available for these new athletes, man. They want to just touch you, man. They want to see greatness.
Facts, man. Facts, definitely. Now.
Oh, Lord.
The event we all been waiting. Oh, man, he got to look, bottoms up. Go ahead, let me finish mine too.
The event we all been waiting for, man.
The event we all been waiting for. The awakening of the dominant 100-meter times of the season. We have 2 official 9.8s in the book. 984 and 982.
985 and 982.
985 and 982. And it was a great race to watch.
What?
What's your thoughts on watching Seville and Noah Lyles go head to head in the 100 meters in Jamaica?
Well, look, I know Seville was in good shape. If you go back to one of our old episodes.
Wait. Before you even start, I gotta give you your flowers.
Oh,
because between our group chat, me and you called out the time that Noah was going to run, and you also said Seville looked great at the Adidas meet, and he's going to ready to drop a really dominant time. And you said possibly he will do that in Jamaica because Noah won last year, and you said Jamaicans, you can't come in here and win again.
No, you cannot.
And it all unfolded the way you said. This is why you my bro, dog. You're an amazing analyst. You think it out before you even speak. You don't guess. You have theory. And it all played out exactly the way you said. Now you can go.
Listen, when I saw Oblique and that straightaway 200 at Adidas, I looked at him and he ran that 1996. But coming through that 100, he looked super strong, bro. He looked super strong. I watched Noah too in the 150. You know what I mean? But Oblique looked super strong in that first 100. And they're 2 totally different runners. They run different. You know what I mean? They don't run the same. You know what I mean? So when I saw him, and like you said in our group chat, I was like, if there's any formidable opponent in that 100-meter lineup, it definitely is Oblique Seville. Oblique is not going to let him come. And that's his coach meet. That's their meet. That's their meet. You're not going to come in our house and go to the master bedroom. Take your ass to the guest bedroom. You know what I mean? And that's what he did. Maybe
no feet on the coffee table this time.
No. No feet on the coffee table to the guest room. And that punch in the mouth that everybody was talking about, that was the punch in the mouth that Noah got. But Oblique and Coach Glenn Mills, hey, you guys going to have to stay on it because anytime this young man Noah loses, you create another beast. You know what I mean? So I love the win, but we know that anytime that Noah loses, and he already posted it, he was like, hey, yo, I'm going to remember that. It's up every time I see you from now on. But Oblique only did what Noah does to everybody when he wins. He stunned it on him, as he should, in his house. That's what you do. That's what you do when you win at home.
You are 100% correct, man. Yeah, Oblique got the job done. I'm glad to see Oblique step into the table. He had opportunity last year. I actually had him pick to go out there and get the job done for Worlds. Indoors, I thought that he was going to be the guy to get the job done there. I'm glad to see that he's able to come out in front of his home crowd, like you said, at his meet, and really put down an amazing time. I want to see more of it. I want to see more of Oblique. He has, and no pressure on you, bro. No pressure at all. Right now, you are carrying the banner for Team Jamaica. You are the guy who can go out there and fight these fights and keep that tradition of Team USA versus Team Jamaica going. And you're doing a great job of it. So keep doing your job, keep doing your thing, stay dialed and stay focused. But on the other hand, it's going to take more than one punch, bro. Just let you know. And I'm not saying this because I've trained with Noah. I've trained with a lot of people, but I've not trained with Noah. But we've all seen that history shows when Noah takes an L, he jumps into that hyperbolic time chamber and he trains his ass off and he comes back and he does some amazing things. So, and you watched him. You watched him on Twitter. You watched him on Instagram. You watched him, his post interviews. You know, he had some things to say and said, hey, I will never, ever again conduct sexual activities in the bedroom before it's time for me to race.
I don't know if that was a real article or
was it real?
But I think it was fake. I don't know if that was real. I don't know because I think Noah exposing that, he exposes somebody else also. I don't know if he would do that. So I don't know how real that article is. I hope.
Okay.
You know, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
So allegedly.
Noah, you know how to get in touch with us. We have conversation. Let me know if it's real or not. If that quote that says, I engage in activities in the bedroom prior to my race. This is exactly what they say that he said, right? All right, cool. At the end of the day, he also said that he wasn't prepared in his start. I guarantee you, the thing about Noah is he's going to use these as tools to fire him up for the next time around. And I guarantee you, now is a 985. Tomorrow might be 982, or it might be a 980. Who knows? But it doesn't derail Noah from what he is planning and preparing to do, which is to go out there, dominate the 200, and to go out there and dominate the 100, especially at Olympic trials and going on into the Olympics. I feel he's right on par.
He is.
He is the fastest American by far right now in the 100 meters. And I think that we already know that when he opened up in this 200, we might see something very amazing. So let's hold off and see exactly what happens. Because right now, that was a good race. I don't think Noah was prepared that Oblique was going to be there, ready to run that fast. And now he's there and he's aware of Oblique and what Oblique can do.
See, but the funny thing, like you say that, you know, his coach probably evaluated Noah at Adidas and watched him run that 150 and probably advised Oblique, we're going to have to PB to beat him. You're going to have to run something we've never done before and dig deep if we want to beat him. And when your coach puts you on that type of notice, you know you're in another training regimen because he know Noah was coming to Jamaica to run. You know what I mean? And you say no pressure, but you saw them Jamaican fans. Them Jamaican fans going to put pressure on your behind whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? So
you are 100% right. You listen, when you get to Jamaica, you are walking into the lion's den. And this is possibly the reason why I did not run in Jamaica for almost a decade. You are going to compete in front of, if not the most passionate fans of track and field, the Jamaican fans. They want to see you do your best. Win or lose, they need your best. They're going to boo you if you sandbag. They're going to cheer for you if you give your best. And that's all that matters. And shouts out to Fitz Dunk. Fitz Dunk posted a picture earlier with what Noah said on his Twitter, which is a picture of Oblique looking over at Noah before the finish line.
It ain't over. It's looking back. Looking back. Be correct. He's not looking over.
All right. So I'm looking at the facial angles right now. It was a look back. It was a face like this, but his eyes were looking back, of course, because that's a 982 to 985. You're looking back, right? So, so anyway, Noah's statement to this picture that he posted himself was, "Oh yeah, ... I'll remember this, ! See you in Paris." And then he puts @ Oblique Seville. So let you know, Noah's not one of them athletes that's going to lick his wounds and go hide out for a little bit and then kind of brush it off and come back. He's going to train with that intensity of that loss. He's going to say, cool, I'm down, but I ain't out. These two right here, Oblique, step up to the damn plate, bro. Noah's right there. Y'all can create something that's very epic for all of us to be able to witness and watch, go down in history, and y'all are the next to go and be greatness. Y'all do your thing. Proud of both of y'all.
Listen, this is the storyline we needed. But to tell you the truth, this is this isn't foreign. This is new athletes, old coaches. You know what I mean? Because you had Tyson and Bolt and Brahman and Mills, and which this is Brahman and Mills again. You have Noah, and then you have Oblique. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
this is going to be crazy.
This is, yeah, you're right. Great coaches help build great athletes. And that's what we're seeing year in, year out, era to the next era. So, man, I mean, that's what we got going on. What you think we got coming up next? What we got coming up next?
We have NCAAs, man. NCAAs will definitely be next. You know, I feel like it's underdog season. You know who I'm calling out for the 100 meters. You know, some of those girls wouldn't like who I'm calling. But, man, I like 100,000 trillion Jaden Mays, Oregon. You know what I mean? I like what I saw. I think she's going to win the 100. You know what I mean?
All right. So, I mean, she got McKenzie. She got Othello over there. So she got a tall order to be able to go out there and handle that. But once again, like we said, we like her swag, bro. She comes out and handles business at a very high level. She does it very comfortably. So y'all, ladies, y'all put on a show. And guys, Auburn boys, Houston boys, click up. Y'all get ready, man. It's game time. Ash, overdue. Get the job done.
Yeah,
Same thing with you, Sean. Overdue. Get the job done. Let's see some magic happen out there, guys.
Yeah, man. But shoot, I don't know. That's pretty much what's all this weekend, man. We'll have more for you guys with NCAAs next weekend. And I think we have European champs next weekend, you know what I mean, to talk about. So we'll see how that goes. You know what I mean? You have anything else, Just?
No, man. I think we're good. With that being said, that's another episode in the books of Ready, Set, Go!